Ladies and gentlemen, today I'm going to show you exactly how to get Alex Hormozi to write the perfect cold email for you and for your specific offer without having to pay him $50,000 an hour for consulting. Look, cold email is still one of the most powerful ways and some of the best ways to land clients and grow your business. And quite truthfully, if someone says the opposite, it's just that they suck at cold email. In the past 30 days alone, I've closed over $7,000 in deals from cold email alone. So no, cold email is not dead and it's still working perfectly fine. But the thing is, most people's cold emails are absolute trash. They either sound desperate, generic, or they're all about the sender instead of the prospects. And look, I've been studying Alex Hormozi's approach to business, offers, and outreach for years now. I mean, this guy has built multiple 9-figure businesses and his approach to cold outreach is an absolute killer strategy. And so in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I use Poppy AI to analyze Hormozi's principles and sort of clone Hormozi's brain and create cold emails that have been landing me meetings with companies that would previously never respond to me. So if you want to learn how to write cold emails that actually get responses, this video is for you. Now, before we get started, let me be clear about something here. This is not about copying Alex Hormozi's exact words or pretending to be him. That would be just weird and inauthentic. But what this is about is understanding the principles and frameworks that makes his approach so effective and then applying those same principles to your own business in your own voice. So here's everything we're going to cover in this video today. First thing first, I will show you how to train Poppy AI on Hormozi's business and outreach principles. Then I will show you how to define your offer in a way that makes cold emails 10 times more effective. Next, I'll show you how to generate killer cold email templates for different situations. And finally, I'll share some advanced strategies that have dramatically increased my response rates. Now, if you haven't heard of Poppy AI before, it's pretty normal because it's a pretty new tool that's been completely changing the game for content creators and business owners. Because unlike ChatGPT or Claude, Poppy is specifically designed for creating high-performing copywriting. Let me show you exactly how it works. Alright, so the first step here is to go and get Poppy.ai and create an account. Now, I have a coupon code called Marwan, which takes $25 off, so feel free to use it if you want to save money. Now, I am not going to be begging you to buy it and spend the next 5 minutes explaining why it's so much better than all the other AI tools out there and why you should buy it, because honestly, I'm just going to let this video do the talking for me, right? Because this AI tool is actually insane. So just watch this video until the end and you will understand by yourself why this is a game changer and why this is the best AI tool you will ever try, all right? Deal. So once you're in, you will see this very simple and clean looking interface. Now, the first step here is to create a new board because that's where everything is going to happen. So let's just click on this big purple button here called new board and just click on it and it's going to create a new board with a random name. In this case, it's called Crimson Mouse for some reason, but now, what you want to do here is just rename the board to whatever you're working on. So in our case, we'll be writing an amazing cold email to send out to companies. So let's just call it cold email, very simply, right? So this is how your board will look like in the beginning. So it's blank, there's nothing going on. And you also have this sidebar on the left with pretty much all the other options you have. And don't worry, I know it might be confusing at first, but we'll get to that in a minute and you'll see that it's very simple to use. The first step here is to train Poppy on Alex Hormozi's business and outreach principles. So the way we'll do this is that we're going to search for his content specifically related to cold outreach, sales, and offer creation. So pretty much everything that makes a cold email a great cold email. Because, well, why would I write my cold email when there's people like him, for example, who are 50 times more knowledgeable than me, and I'm being kind of saying 50 times because it's probably more like 1,000 times more knowledgeable than me when it comes to writing good emails, creating a good offer, and packaging it into a very good and well-written cold email that I can send out to companies and close deals, all right? This guy, Alex Hormozi, knows way more than me. He's like very talented business guy. He has way more experience than me and probably than you watching this. So why not let him create our cold email? I think that makes sense, right? So first thing first, again, let's search for his content on YouTube, for example, to see what he says and how he would write an amazing, perfect cold email. Let's get into it. So once you're on YouTube, just type something like, for example, I could say Alex Hormozi cold email, and let's see what videos pop up. So as you can see, there's plenty of different videos that Alex Hormozi made about how to write an amazingly good cold email. So that's amazing because the more info there is and the more knowledge he put out on the internet, the better the output will be. So for example, the first video in this one, brutally honest cold email advice from Alex Hormozi, that is perfect because he's pretty much just saying everything we should do and everything we should not do to write a good cold email. So what you want to do here is just copy the link of this video on YouTube. Very simple. Just right click on copy link address, then go back on your board in Poppy AI and just press Command V if you're on Mac or Control V for Windows just to paste the video on the board. So just Command V here. And as you can see, it's just going to paste the video right here. Now in the backend is doing something amazing, which is it transcribed the entire video by itself. So I didn't have to type anything. It just did it by itself. So every time you paste any content, whether it's a TikTok, an Instagram reel, or a YouTube video to Poppy AI, it will transcribe the content by itself. All right. So it will just analyze in the backend what the content is about, what the author talks about in the video, and what's the video about in general. Now, another feature that's pretty insane in that I think there's no other AI tool on the market that has this feature, to be honest. It's the fact that Poppy can also visualize what's going on in the video, right? So it's not just useful to transcribe and then, work from that transcript, but it can also see what's going on visually in the video. And that's pretty crazy because, for example, if there's a text, it can see the text at a specific time frame in a video. Now, let's add some more YouTube videos, because the more YouTube videos you will add, the better the output will be, because the more information Poppy AI will have on how to write perfect cold email. So we could just go back on YouTube and then search for another video. So for example, this one, which is Alex Hormozi's $100 million email strategy. So just copy the address, paste it in Poppy. There you go. This one as well, which is 39 minutes, which must be full of information. So again, paste it here. So you could technically watch these videos by yourself and try to analyze all of them and watch them all one by one. But obviously, not only that would take you a lot of time, but also you would most likely forget about some key principles of all these videos, right? And even if you don't, it will just take you so much time to watch each of these videos and try to just come up with an actual synthesized lesson from all these videos. And the advantage here is that you let the AI do it for you, and it will not forget anything because, well, it's AI, right? This one is great. This email campaign, it's pretty great because we're about to use cold email, like a one-off cold email, but this can still be useful because I'm pretty sure that there's still principles that can be applied to one-off cold emails. So let's paste it here as well. There's also this cold email masterclass with Alex Hormozi, and I don't know who that guy is, but yeah, I reckon he's pretty knowledgeable. So let's just paste it here. And yeah, the goal here is just to have as much video as possible. So this one is nice, for example. There you go. Copy link address as well. There you go. And let me just find the last one. It doesn't look like there's more videos that can be used for this, but what we can do here is that we can just think about the whole cold email thing, right? What makes a good cold email like a good cold email, and what skills are necessary to have a good cold email? And obviously one of it is copywriting, because pretty much, copywriting is what cold email consists of, right? So for example, here, instead of just doing cold email, we can just do, for example, copywriting, and then that pretty much falls in the same category of just writing a good cold email, right? So for example, this one 4 years ago, the copy rule I learned from the best copywriter I know, the rule of one. Again, that is not something that's specifically made for cold email, but that's usable for cold emails because it's all about copywriting, which is basically the same as writing a good cold email. So let's paste it here. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And maybe another one when it comes to offer, because again, a cold email is composed of good copywriting, but also a good offer, and you have to know how to write a good offer. So I'm pretty sure that Alex Hormozi has some videos about how to create a good offer. So let's just type Alex Hormozi offer, and let me see the 100 million offer formula. That sounds really interesting. So that's a formula that he uses to write a good offer. Very interesting. Let's copy as well. Let's just copy the link address here and then paste it on Poppy as well. And maybe one last video just for the sake of it. Yeah, so yeah, maybe this one might be good, I guess. Let me just see if there's anything else. So it looks like he's known for this $100 million offer formula, so that's a good thing because we just pasted a video about this. I think that's it. I think that's pretty good. There's 8 videos, which is way more than enough to create a good cold email out of it. So now that you got videos here ready on your board, you can just press G on your keyboard and it's going to create a group. Now, the goal of this is to not only organize your board, because you don't want to have 50 different videos spread across the whole board, but also it's going to make it easier for asking the AI to synthesize all these videos. So now just drag and drop
each of these videos on the group. So the first one, second one, third one, fourth, fifth, sixth, 9. There you go. So now you have all the video in the group, and let's rename this group by clicking here. Alex Hormozi, we could say masterclass, right? Because it is what it is. Actually, let's rename it Alex Hormozi Principles. I think that's a better name for the group. Now, this is the first step, which is to just gather all the important information about how to write a good cold email in one group. Now, the second step here is to train the AI to write a good cold email, because these are principles. So in these videos, Alex Hormozi doesn't teach you which word to use to write a good cold email and how to write an actual good copy for a cold email, right? These are just the principles used to write the cold email. But when it comes to actually typing and having the templates for the cold email to send, obviously, it's better to train the AI to do it, because otherwise it's just going to sound like AI. It's going to just look like AI, which you don't want, because it's going to result in like pretty much no replies. So for this, very simple as well. Go back to YouTube. And so there's 2 ways you can do this. The first one is if you consider yourself to be a good writer and like you already have some good emails you already sent to people that close your deals, you can just pretty much paste them into Poppy AI so that it learns your style and it can just adapt from your style and write a good cold email. So to do this, you would just click on T, so the letter T on your keyboard, press T, then it's going to pop up this little white thing here. And all you got to do is just double click on it and then paste whatever text you want to paste. So in this case, for example, it would be one of your cold emails that made you a lot of sales, or one of your sales call, transcript, for example. So yeah, that's something you can do. Now, if you never sent a cold email before, if you don't consider yourself to be a good writer at all, and you don't want your new cold email to be based on how you currently write, which is totally understandable, you can just go back on YouTube and then search for copywriting sort of courses / masterclass, right? So in this case, you can type something on YouTube, for example, how to write good cold email. And there's this video that pops up, which was 5 months ago, how to write killer cold emails that guarantee responses. So this guy doesn't really talk about the offer, but he just focuses on the actual writing part, right? Like which words to use, which actual sentences to use over other ones. Like this is actually deep into the writing part. These videos of Hormozi are extremely good, but they don't go deep into like how to actually write a good cold email. So let's just take this one and just click copy link address. Again, paste it onto Poppy. And let's not put it in the same group as Alex Hormozi Principles group, because you'll understand why in just a couple moments. So there's this one, and then there's this one as well, which is 58 minutes of how to write cold email copy. That's a good video. So again, copy link address, paste it on Poppy as well. There you go. And then also what you can do here is just have something like, for example, this one, which is I tried 195 cold email subject lines, and these are the best, because obviously there is also the subject lines, which are very important. So you don't want to have them, absolutely bad compared to the rest of your email. So let's just copy this as well and paste it here. And then there's also this one, which is good. I actually watched it by myself, which is steal these 4 cold email openers word for word to get clients 225. Again, that goes deep into how to actually write and which words to use to write a good cold email. So let's just paste it here. And let's take one last one, which is about copywriting in general, because that can always be useful. So let's type something like, so there is this one, which is 4 years of copywriting advice in 8 minutes. Again, very important. So let's just copy link address. You see, this is not specifically for cold email, but obviously these are principles that can be reused for cold emails, or even YouTube scripts, or pretty much anything that requires writing to get someone's attention, right? So let's just paste it in Poppy as well. So now what you have is that you have all the Alex Hormozi principles to write a good email and to structure it well and to have a good offer. And then you have the videos right here, which are specifically designed to help and train the AI to write and use the right words for a cold email so that it doesn't just sound like AI, right? So now again, same thing, create a group, press G on keyboards. It's going to create a group. Then just make it a bit bigger in size like this. And then you just drag and drop each video. 2, 3, 4, and 1.5. So there you go. Now you have two different groups, one of Alex Hormozi principles and one with the actual nitty-gritty stuff about how to write a good cold email with the right words. So let's rename this, for example, copywriting masterclass. So now next step is very simple. Just open an AI chat. To do this, it sounds fancy, but it really isn't. Just press C on your keyboard, so the letter C, and it's going to open up a new pop-up chat like this. And so what you want to do here is just link each group to the chats. Again, it sounds fancy, but very simple as well. Just, drag this little purple dot here and just drop it on the chat. And so now the AI assistant knows about these videos and has the context about this group, which is called Alex Hormozi Principles. So before linking this one, let's just ask the AI about this group, right? So I'm going to ask it to analyze each of these videos and learn and extract from the videos all the key principles and most important sort of, lessons and principles really from these videos. So again, extremely simple. You're going to use this prompt word for word, all right? Analyze these videos from Alex Hormozi in the group called, what did I call it? Alex Hormozi Principles, in the group called Alex Hormozi's Principles. So what are his key principles and frameworks for effective cold outreach? Cold email / outreach, offer creation, and sales messaging, and pretty much everything needed to create, not just pretty much, and everything needed to create the perfect cold email according to him. So actually I'm going to say each of these videos just to make sure it really just gets everything right, down to the smallest details. Now I'll just press enter. And now it's going to pretty much analyze from all these videos, 8 videos, all the principles that Alex Hormozi teaches, right? So it's pretty much like you had Alex Hormozi's brain sort of coaching you on how to write a good cold email offer. This is pretty insane, right? So Alex Hormozi has developed a comprehensive approach, blah, 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 blah. And so, yeah, there you go. These are the cold email strategy fundamentals. So the rule of one, which is, for example, this one, focus on a single concept. 91% of top performing offers center on one big idea. The idea must be easy to understand, easy to believe, and interesting / unique. Avoid toss salad copy where you've heard multiple ideas hopping in one stick, blah, 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 blah. How to build your lead list, and then how to craft effective cold emails, make cold outreach feel like warm outreach. That is very true. Use real personalization, leverage technology, context matters, blah, 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 blah. So pretty much everything that Alex Hormozi teaches in his videos, Poppy AI just extracted it all into one simple prompt, right? And also, I shall mention if I didn't, and if you weren't aware of it, which is that ChatGPT is great, but it's definitely not the best for writing good copy and writing content in general, writing anything really, right? There's one LLM, so one AI model that's the best for this, and it's called Claude, if you didn't know about this. So as you can see on Poppy, you pretty much have access to different language models. So you got GPT-4o, which is, again, supposed to be paid. It's like $20 a month. You got Claude, which is, again, I think $20 a month or even more. And you got Grok. Now, ChatGPT sucks for writing content. I'm telling you from experience, you can ask any copywriter, like any content creator. It's not good, right? I mean, you can make it good, but then it's nothing compared to Claude, which is way, way better when it comes to writing actually good content. So Claude is going to be enabled by default, so you won't have to do anything else, but I'm just letting you know so that now you just know that Claude is the best for writing content. Now, next step is to ask the AI to analyze and extract everything from these videos when it comes to actually writing the email. So again, let's just link this group to the chats, and then let's ask it something like, okay, great. Now let's talk about actually writing the cold email templates the best way possible. Alex Hormozi's principles are useful for crafting the cold email and structuring it. But now we need to make sure that the cold email is written in the best way possible. To do this, please analyze each video in the group called Copywriting Masterclass. And then you can pretty much just copy and paste what I told in just above. So, yeah, so to do this, please analyze each video in the group called Copywriting Masterclass. Analyze everything that is stored in the videos and how to write the perfect cold email as well as the perfect subject line. Don't write anything just yet. Just please analyze everything about these videos so that I can then later ask you to write the cold email based on my offer. Now it's going to analyze everything from this group now. So yeah, it's pretty much just understanding everything. So the email body structure, the PC formula, the PEC formula, the PPC formula, like all of these are things that would have taken you a long time to actually understand and apply your old code email, right? AI does it for you. So that's amazing. Now, this is amazing. So now the AI knows about the whole principles of writing good cold email by Alex Hormozi, and it also knows how to not write like AI by using the videos about how to write good copy for email. Now, the next step is very simple. We're going to tell the AI more about our offer, what we offer to the prospects, and pretty much like what's our offer, right? So that the AI can just get the context about it, and then you write the perfect cold email based on our offer. So to do this, it's very simple. Just tell the AI about your offer. So let's use my actual example of how I actually make money online, which is the fact that I do sponsor an Instagram post on my Instagram page for AI tools and softwares, right? So let's do it. Now, for best results as well, the most important thing is also to tell the AI who is and who are your ideal clients, right? So you want to make sure you give it as much context as possible, just like we did here. But you also want to make sure that you give it and you tell it who your ideal customer and your ideal client is. So in my case, my ideal clients are SaaS tools, B2C AI startups, productivity platforms, and educational apps that want more brand awareness, signups, or sales without wasting budgets on generic influencer shoutouts. Now, if you don't know what your ideal client is, which I guess can happen, you can also just ask Poppy AI your offer and just tell it, based on my offer and based on what I do, who is my ideal client, and it will tell you who your ideal client is. So that's also something that you have to keep in mind. Now, second thing is that you also have to make sure that you give it the pain points of your customer, of your prospect. So again, if you don't know what your pain points are, you can just ask Poppy and tell Poppy your offer, and then ask it, for example, based on my offer, what are the main pain points that my ideal customer might be facing? And it's going to give you all the pain points. So in my case, I already know them. So I'm going to type something like, the main pain points they face are Then if you also have, past client results, you can also tell it for even more context. You see, the prompt is getting pretty long here, but again, the goal here is just to give it as much context as possible, because that's what's going to make the email even better written, because the more context you give to the AI, the better, the more information you will have and the better the output will be, right? So just give it as much context as you can on your offer. That's just going to help even more the AI, right? So the results my brand partners typically get are, and then you just tell it, so 200K to 1 million views from a single post, a significant spike in signups tracked through their custom link. 5x plus ROI from a well executed multi-post campaign. A long-term partnership with consistent results and flexible deliverables. So now that you just gave Poppy AI as much context as possible on your offer, you can now ask it to create the cold email, based on all of the videos and all the principles that it knows, right? So now I can just say something like, now, using Alex Hormozi's principles and the copywriting masterclass principles, refine my offer to make it more specific, compelling, and irresistible. Focus on making it high probability of achievements, low time to achievement, low effort / pain, and low risk. And so now the AI just gave you an amazing, refined offer based on what you told it, and now it just sounds 10 times better, and it follows all the Hormozi principles and the copywriting principles that it learned. So that's perfect. The dream outcome is I help SaaS companies and AI startups achieve 10,000 plus qualified signups in 30 days through strategic feature placement and viral stream content that converts passive viewers into active users. That is amazing. That's actually amazing copy. Same for this. There's the unique mechanism, and then there's also the specific results. And most importantly, because you also need to have a risk reversal for the lead to sign as much as possible, I offer you a performance guarantee. If we don't hit the minimum views threshold, you receive an additional promotional post at no extra cost. This is amazing, because actually, this is my offer, because I also have this exact same risk reversal, and I didn't even tell you about it. So the AI didn't know that this is my offer and that I actually have this risk reversal in real life. That's actually what I say to my clients, when I sign deals. So that just goes to show how good this is, right? So yeah, it pretty much tells you all the different elements needed to have an amazing offer and a refined offer. All right, so the next step is obviously now to write the actual cold email that you will be sending to companies, right? That's the next step. So for this, very simple. I will most likely have the prompts pasted in the description so that you can just copy and paste it. If I don't, I'm sorry. You'll have just to copy again by watching the video. But basically, it looks something like this. Using Alex Hormozi's cold outreach principles, write a cold email template I can send to, in my case, that's who I'm going to be sending to, but obviously it depends on your offer, so you can just feel free to change this. Then you say the email should be personalized, focused on the results, and designed to create curiosity instead of pitching too hard. Mention that I've helped over 50 plus tools get massive exposure and drive thousands of signups through engaging content posted on my Instagram account. Now you just press enter and you will literally have an amazingly written cold email. There is no way it's going to fail, because it's based on the perfect example, right? You now have an amazingly written cold email. That's it. And you can just literally just copy and paste it, start sending it, and start seeing money flow in your bank account. This is crazy, but this is pretty much what it takes to write a good cold email, right? As you can see, it's very specific. The subject line is also specific. For example, you call it by the first name. I saw a specific feature of company name. The email is not too long as well. It just ends here. And then you also give a quick case study to prove that you also actually bring results. And you just pretty much also have a quick PS, something to show that you're not too desperate to sign a deal. So yeah, this is amazing. The CTA is also very clear, because I say, would it be valuable if I send over 3 specific content ideas I've developed for company name that could drive similar results to you? That is amazing. That is an actually good cold email. That is something that could get you replies and that will get you deals if you send it over and over again on a large prospect list. So that's amazing. It also gives you the follow-up as well. So follow-up number 1, 3 days later, follow-up to, 5 days after first follow-up. And so yeah, this is how you write an actually amazingly well-written cold email using Poppy AI. Now, let me share with you guys one quick advanced strategy that could dramatically improve your chances and your odds of closing a deal, right? Because you send a cold email, the person replies, obviously it doesn't mean you signed the deal. So you also have to do a good job at replying to the emails and maybe even going on a call with them. So one good strategy I like to use sometimes, and I think would get you guys a lot of more chances of closing a deal, is to pretty much create objection handlers for common responses. So something where you would not have to waste time by writing an email manually every single time, because most of the time when you'll be sending this email, someone will reply with an objection, something like yeah, but we're not really on Instagram, or we don't think that it's going to bring a lot of conversion because it's Instagram. And so obviously you will have to handle these objections. Now, if you do it manually every single time, I mean, you can, but it's going to take you so much time, and you don't want to waste too much time on certain things that can be automated, right? So this is why you create objection handlers templates. So what you can do here is ask Poppy to create response templates for these common objections to my cold outreach. So if you already know roughly what the common objections people might have to your offer are, you can just type this: create, let me zoom in here, create response templates, and I can reuse without, just response templates basically, for these common objections to my cold outreach. And then here you would just type the common objections, right? So in my case, again, I already know them. So most of the time, it's pretty, universal for all businesses, but still, if you don't know what they are, I'm going to show you in just a minute how to figure them out. So number one, I don't have the budget right now. This can be solved by, for example, doing something like performance guarantee or a pay later, that there's a lot of different ways to handle this, or even to offer like a 50-50 or a payment plan. Lots of different ways to handle this. I'm too busy at the moment. Again, this is handled. I already know this because it's my offer that I've been running it for the past 2 years. But yeah, this is solved by basically, showing them that they will not have to do anything else apart from just, validating the content drafts. That's it. Because the way I do this is I let them focus on their business while I create the content. So then third objection is something like, I've tried working with influencers before and didn't get results. Again, this can be solved by a performance guarantee. Usually guarantees and having actual results guarantee, like a risk reversal, is going to solve 99% of the problems for your leads, honestly. Then 4 can be something like, I'm not sure if my tool is appealing enough for your audience, right? Because some people might doubt that. Now, you can just press enter here, and it's going to pretty much create templates, email templates, replying to these objections that you can just copy and paste and reuse again every single time you get a reply with one of these objections. That is both a time saver, and it's also going to train you to, even when you're attending sales call, you will also know what to say if the person has one of these objections. So again, the first one here, I don't have the budget right now. There's a clear template. There you go. Same for this one. There you go. Like for the I'm too busy at the moment. For this one as well, objection templates, and this one as well. So yeah, this is it, right? So each of these responses, as you can see, acknowledges the objection, then they reframe it, and then they offer a specific next step. All of this is, again, based on what Alex Hormozi taught in all the videos, which is amazing. So you pretty much have Alex Hormozi coaching you and writing these emails for you, which is amazing, really. And you don't have to pay him $50,000 for a 1-hour coaching call, all right? So, ladies and gentlemen, this is how you use Poppy AI to write a banger cold email template and, follow-up sequences and even objection handlers, and even more, because I'm sure that you watching the video right now might have some more ideas on how to use Poppy on different use cases. I'm pretty sure that you've been convinced that this was pretty insane, because again, just for the fact that you have sort of a mind map format and not just a basic text format and chat format with the AI is just miles better in my opinion. And also, If you're more of like a text person and you just prefer to have like a chat-based conversation, you can also have it here. You can just press on this button here to just make it even full screen. And then you have this in a ChatGPT style format, which is just a chat format.
So there you have it, how to have Alex Hormozi write the perfect cold emails for you and your business using Poppy AI. So if you want to try Poppy for yourself, you can use my link in the description with my coupon code to save money. Now, full disclosure, I do get a small commission if you sign up, but you also end up paying less than everyone for it. So it's pretty much a win-win situation. Thanks for watching.